Back to the daily grind, and shout out to the full-time patrons. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back bagel biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full time.
MMA.
And the UFC's most wanted, Colby Covington, is blasting Khabib Nurmagomedov after winning the UFC undisputed lightweight title in the UFC 223 main event versus Ally Quinta, and he's saying you weren't able to finish a real estate agent. Sad. And this is an interesting point to bring up, but first of all, Colby Covington is a jackass. I mean, how are you going to call out somebody for their fight? And you, in your last fight, you were fighting Damian Maia, who's 37, 39 years old, known for his jiu-jitsu, and Damian Maia was boxing you up. You know what I'm saying? How can Colby Covington talk about Khabib not getting a finish? It's not like Colby Covington's known for finishes himself. You know what I'm saying? Colby Covington is a wrestler, very much like Khabib. Like, how are you gonna call somebody? You would think another wrestler is gonna support a fellow wrestler, but Colby Covington's like, fuck it, man. It looks like he's trying to piss the world off, and he doesn't care. He said Khabib couldn't get a finish. Actually, man, I low-key want to go to UFC.com and see how many finishes Colby Covington been getting. Let's check this out, bro. Yeah, I was listening to the post-fight press conference. That's what this is, but let's go. Colby Covington, because unless he's coming off of a bunch of finishes, he's just literally just talking out of his ass right here. So let's check this out. UFC.com. Let's see if we can hear it. Let's see. Unanimous decision. Unanimous decision. Unanimous decision. Seriously? Colby Covington's coming off of 3 unanimous decisions in a row, and he's talking about someone can't get a finish, which means that means Khabib's had a finish more recently than Colby Covington, because Khabib finished Michael Johnson, if I'm not mistaken. So let's check that. I'm pretty sure he did. Schedule. All right, we'll just pull it up this way. Khabib versus. Now let's do Khabib. He'll pop up. UFC.com. Khabib profile. Yeah, he's 3rd round submission over Michael Johnson. Khabib's had a submission more recently than, he's had a finish more recently than Colby Covington, and Colby Covington saying he can't get a finish. That lets you know Colby Covington is just talking out of his ass. He's talking about Khabib, who just became the UFC's undisputed lightweight title. Now, a lot of people do think that this is disputed, but I will say I'm going to do a separate video on this. The debate is over for me, man. It's Khabib. He wins. People are saying, who's the best lightweight in the world? Is it Khabib? Is it Ferguson? Is it McGregor? It's Khabib. So even though he beat number 10 or number 11th ranked Ally Quinta, he was willing to fight whoever stepped up. It was 4 different opponents on short notice. I mean, and that's just one aspect of this. Now, I mean, you can say Tony Ferguson was willing to fight whoever to step up as well when he fought Kevin Lee, the number 7th ranked fighter. A lot of people gave Tony Ferguson slack for fighting the number 7th ranked guy, but that was the highest ranked opponent available, kind of like Ally Quinta. But Khabib was supposed to fight Tony Ferguson. He was injured. Then he was supposed to fight Max Holloway. Couldn't make the weight. Then he was supposed to fight Anthony Pettis. UFC changed their mind. And then he was supposed to fight Ally Quinta, who he ended up eventually fighting and winning the belt from. Now, when you look at Khabib's matchups, and now this is why I think Khabib wins who's the best lightweight in the world. Actually, I'm about to do this on a separate video, but long story short, I'm going to do this on a separate video, but long story short, because for Tony Ferguson to beat Khabib, you're hoping he gets a submission. For Conor McGregor to beat Khabib, you're hoping he knocks him out. But if the fight goes to decision, or if you're talking about who's going to win the fight, if we're just watching a fight, it's probably going to be Khabib dominating it with this grappling, unless you can submit him or knock him out. So that's long story short. But one other thing I wanted to touch on this Colby Covington video, I almost didn't even want to do a video on this, like Colby Covington talking shit about Khabib. Like, clearly he's just doing this for attention. He's clout chasing. Colby Covington is a clout chaser. If you're popular, if something just happened, he's willing to probably talk some trash. I wouldn't be surprised if he had something bad to say about Rose Namajunas, and there's nothing bad I can think of about Rose Namajunas, but I wouldn't be surprised if he said that to piss people off. But either way, one thing I did want to show about Colby Covington, which is why I really even made this video, is because Colby Covington was talking about how the UFC had to buy his big nuts an extra plane ticket because he's going back to Brazil. He's the king of Brazil, and now it looks like the UFC has moved Colby Covington from UFC 224 to UFC 225. Colby Covington's actually going to be going to Chicago to fight for the interim title versus a Brazilian. Rafael dos Anjos is still going to be looking to get revenge for Brazil, but he's not going to be doing it on his home soil. Colby Covington's going to be that much safer when he's fighting Rafael dos Anjos. A lot of people don't like Colby Covington's antics, and they were hoping he would go to Brazil. And honestly, I think a lot of people were probably hoping bad things happen to Colby Covington, which is probably not good. But either way, that's if Colby Covington would have went to Brazil, a lot of people were saying, yo, you got to give him his respect. That takes some fucking serious cojones to go back to Brazil after you've talked all of this trash. But with that being said, his fight was moved back to UFC 225. So it looks like Colby Covington's actually kind of getting rewarded, and you know what I'm saying, for his behavior. Because he's getting a title shot. You know what I'm saying? There's what? Darren Till, Stephen Thompson, Robbie Lawler. I mean, really, Rafael dos Anjos is the #1 contender, but Colby Covington, other than him, is the next top contender. So, I mean, he beat Damian Maia, so it's not really like, you know, a lot of people feel like Colby Covington is, like I was just almost thought that he's getting rewarded for his trash talk, but he actually earned his way to the top 3 spots. Now, he had to be given that opportunity. You know, but he beat Damian Maia, who was at the time the #3 ranked guy, 7-1 in his last 8 fights, only lost to the champion. Colby Covington came in there and beat Damian Maia. So with that being said, he earned a spot in the top 3, and you can't be mad at a guy in the top 3 fighting for a title. When we just had Ali Quinta, #10, fighting for the title, you know what I'm saying? Shit happens. With that being said, this is for the interim strap. It's going to be at UFC 225 in Chicago instead of UFC 224 in Brazil. Let the full-time family know what you think about that in the comments. I'm out. And as always, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell right next to it so you're notified every time I upload a video. I'm out.
Bye, Felicia.